Hello, Matt here from the American Edge and the Guild of Professional Sharpeners. I recently got back from a trip to Breckenridge and I stopped in to see my friend Steve at Off the Slopes, and I picked up this Benchmade Dossian for myself and I brought it home and I want to put a American Edge on my Benchmade. A couple things we're going to explore with this is MagnaCut. This is my first MagnaCut knife that I own. I'm going to do MagnaCut and CBN if there's ever a question of whether or not CBN can cut MagnaCut. We'll explore that here. And then I also want to show you my lathe. I haven't done a lot of work on YouTube to demonstrate the versatility of my lathe, but I think you might at least find some curiosity and interest in the capabilities of using a lathe for sharpening. So without further ado, let's go get after it. As I'm setting this up, I thought I would just do a quick orientation to the lathe. So this is a machinist lathe, not a woodworking lathe. If you're not familiar with this equipment, some basic things are the spindle, which is where it spins. I have a live center set up on this side. I built this drive shaft essentially, and I cut, well, I don't know how much detail we need to go into that. But anyway, I mount two wheels on this, and then within this system here, there's a belt on a series of different diameter drive lines. Anyway, the point here is you can change the speed on it by moving the belt around, but I also have a VFD on. The motor is under here, and I have a VFD driving a three-phase motor. So I have tremendous speed control. But anyway, if you want to go into that anymore, we can. But this is, I'm going to mount this shaft in here. I had these wheels on something else, so I'm going to tighten my nuts up a little bit. All right, so then now with the knife, well, the other thing I have here is I built this Tormek style bar spanning the whole thing. So I can use the Tormek jigs and have angle control, in this case on two wheels. And then by changing, and you can barely see that, there's a handle right here, which drives this one drives the carriage forward and back, and that's how I adjust my angle. So I'm gonna just mount my blade in my Tormek jig. I'm going to paint the bevels with a Sharpie so that I can tune my angles, but then I'll show you also how I measure the angles. Just doing a little spot. I got the wheels here is a 60 grit CBN wheel and a 1000 grit CBN wheel. So I don't need to be dead on, I just need to be, I want to get close. But the other thing is that I have a Tormek angle guide here, and I have it set to an 8-inch wheel on this side, and it's at 17 degrees on this side. So let me see where the paint comes off. I assume it's a little shallower than that. Oh, a little steeper than that. A little steeper than that. How is it on this side? Yep, steeper. I might want to shallow this out. This feels a little steep. I've almost got it. Yeah, so it could come out a little more, but I think yeah, that's pretty close to 17 degrees. I don't think I want to go any. Of course, that's 17 degrees to the tapered. I actually want to go a little thinner than that. So we'll spend a little time, because we're going to have to thin out the edge a little bit. I'm going to have my dust collecting port right here, and I might turn that on. I don't know if you can hear me over the speed control. I'll talk after I turn the desktop off. All right, some things that you may have noticed starting up here is I had originally spinning edge leading, and I want to do that work edge trailing. So great thing about I just want to highlight some features of the lathe. Huge speed control, variability. I'm going to come over to the 1000 grit wheel here next. I'm going to keep it at the speed that it's at. I'll just demonstrate after. Actually, let's do it right now. So the way this VFD is set up, it is done by numbers. I would prefer one with a potentiometer. Anyway, that's spinning at number 2. I did put a piece of tape on here so I can measure the RPM. I hear something different. It's the belts just vibrating a little bit, but I'll just come up in speed a bit. That'd be a nice grinding speed. The other thing that's nice, so a couple of things, right? The CBN wheels cut cool. You may have seen me touching the tip or something during that grinding. It never got, I couldn't even feel it getting warm, let alone hot. So, but even if it was, like, you can slow this down to whatever speed is comfortable. Now with this bar, I can go from one wheel to the next. So I can cut here, polish there. I'm gonna just move you over a little bit. I'm going to polish at a slightly faster speed, so I'm going to bring it up to, I think it was at 30 before. That's 30 right there. This knife did not, it's a brand new knife, it didn't really need any work. I did take a degree or two off of the bevel angle, but that is it. Sometimes on the finer wheels, if you're spinning fast, they'll warm up. But I have some of this slick stick from Woodturner's Wonders, which is where I got these wheels. And just a little dab of that will keep them running cool. Just to demonstrate another feature, I'm going to slow it down and do a couple edge leading strokes just to take off whatever, at least part of that burr that might be on there. Slow it down, spin it the other direction. Okay, so there are that's pretty much it. But if you're interested in speed control, angle control, precision, versatility, like I can show you more things that you can pretty much mount anything you want in here and spin it at any speed you want. So anyway, that's what got my attention in the lathe, and that's one way that I'm using it. All right, so let's go check this That's as refined as I'm going to take it. We'll do burr removal over at another spot. All right, I just remembered that one of our things we were exploring was cutting MagnaCut with CBN, and it put up a burr easy. I took a degree or so off of the bevel and it cut that back fine, polished it nicely. So yes, check. CBN, MagnaCut, works good. Next thing, this is my deburring process. I have a leather wheel here with some magic glue. I have freehand, nice and light. We'll check that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right, there we have it. We sharpened and Benchmade Dacian. We set angles and speed really well. Cut it on CBN, that worked well. Deburred on leather with magic blue, that worked well. Can't think of any other takeaways at the moment, but if you have any questions or yeah, if you want to see some more on the lathe, maybe just let me know what you're interested in and we could hook that up. Thanks for watching.